after Tupac's death, they came out with this record, Against All Odds. Of course, that was something really big to street people.
It was a big evolution in the diss record.
But he changed the type of music that was going to be made. Aggressive and really speaking your mind.
Hoping my true motherfuckers know this be the realest shit I ever wrote.
When Against All Odds dropped, it's a game changer. You know, because nobody ever talked about a street nigga like that.
I heard he was light-skinned, stocky, with a Haitian accent. Jewelry, fast cars, and he's known for flashing. Listen while I take you back and lace this rap. A real live tale about a snitch named Haitian Jack.
You got this kid up here throwing somebody's name out there that was stamped. USDA certified.
With Against All Odds, you basically opened up a new playbook. Now we talking real street shit.
Everybody got a lot to say about Jack, but I can tell you one thing that I know personally. Snitch, nigga, show me paperwork. When that happened. God, my man about that street life.
Being called a snitch came from Suge. Suge told Tupac to say that shit about me. But Suge was a capitalist. He used Pac. Pac didn't even see it. The more attention Pac gets, and the more the record sales go up.
Making a record was something different. Like, if it's real, why are you publicizing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just handle it.
This matter is very serious. When Pac made some accusation about Jack, so now, when the record came out, he can't confront Pac with it because he's dead.
Pac wouldn't have put no song like that out before he died, because then he'd have to see me, because I'm gonna ask him some questions. That's not something I can let nobody get away with, dog. The code of the streets is this, man. If you got proof, then show it.
Code back in those days was like, you a man, you a stand-up man, and don't let this guy come in your face and chump you, you know? And because if he chump you and I'm saying that and you supposed to be my man, I ain't gonna have no more respect for you.
Yeah, we was really, we started kicking it tough after that. That's when we ended up, we was hanging out a lot, and one of our mutual friends died, and we ended up doing the song, Jealous Got Me Strapped. Like, that shit fucked me up. I was mad as hell. I did 3 months in LA County, and I get out, and Pac has done All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli. And I was at the Mondrian, and he called, like, where the fuck you been, nigga? You know, and I'm like, I've been locked up for 3 months, fool. He was like, I'm on my way over there. So he came to the hotel, and that's when he started talking about everything. You know what I'm saying? We ended up going to his mom's house and chopping it up, and he started telling me, you know, everything that happened in that elevator. He said he went in there, he went to there, do the song in the studio, and he said he got to the studio, at the bottom of the studio. He said it was niggas sitting all in the downstairs with newspapers and shit. He said it was like some movie shit, you know what I'm saying? It was like motherfuckers was looking over their newspapers and shit like this, you know. And you know, he said he figured something was kind of funny when he seen that, and he said he get in the elevator, and as soon as get in the elevator and the dude run up in the elevator, he pull out the pistol, pull out a 45, and tell him to give him his shit. And Pac said, you know, I didn't want to give up my shit, so I grabbed the nigga gun. And you know, they started tussling with the pistol. He said me and the dude caught eye contact when he shot me, and then he said I just started holding on to the gun more, you know, struggling with the nigga, and he shot again, and he said he kept struggling. Then he said he shot one more time, and he shot him in the nuts. Pac said that's when I fell to the ground. He said the nigga shot 2 more times, and you know, and I guess hit him in the back or the shoulder, and grazed his head at the top, you know. And he said niggas they ran out the elevator, He said he rolled over and pulled out the swishers and the weed and rolled up and started rolling a bloody blunt. He said, because he said it, and you know, and I'm like, you know, what the fuck? What you mean you rolled a bloody blunt? Like, what the fuck? He said, I want to die high. Okay, I can I can feel that. I can dig that. He said he got to the top of the elevator and the doors open, and he said niggas was looking at him like they seen a ghost.
Right, Biggie and Puffy were there.
Yeah, and you know, he automatically was like, you know, y'all motherfuckers, you know, set me up and shit. You know, y'all could have told me them niggas was downstairs and all of that. You know, as far as I knew, you know, Biggie and Puffy ran New York at that point in time, and they could have, if they knew that them niggas was downstairs, they were supposed to tell him. And now, if they didn't know that them niggas was downstairs and didn't know that they had beef like that with Pac, that's another story. But if they knew that that shit was going on and didn't tell Pac that them niggas was downstairs waiting for him, then it's just as much as on their ass too. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, if they knew, they should have and could have said something. I mean, I think Biggie had love for Pac. I really do. You know, because how could you not have love for Pac like that? You know, Biggie had love for Pac, but the dudes that Pac was kicking it with wasn't cool. Yeah, that them cats wasn't cool to ride with. You know what I'm saying? And Pac would tell me, and Pac, you know, some of our mutual homies would tell me, you know, hey, them niggas that Pac hanging with ain't cool out there in New York. Them Haitian Jack or Haitian Rick or whatever the nigga name wasn't cool to kick it with. You know what I'm saying? And Pac riding with the nigga. And you know, you meet a lot of people like that when you doing this music. I met a lot of cats, you know, oh man, you know, Spice, let me hook you up with this jewelry, man. Let me hook you up with this female. Let me hook you up with this car, with this thing, you know, with this stuff, and you know, you can pay me back later. And cats end up setting you up, or you end up getting set up by the broad that they brought to you, or you know what I'm saying? It's so many dudes in this, like you run into somebody and they got, it seemed like like this dude is the devil, like he got every damn thing.
Thinking ahead to doing something with his life beyond just being a rapper. He was definitely thinking ahead to doing something with his life beyond just being a rapper.
Big being around Puff enough gave Big the drive to wanting to become an entrepreneur, wanting to become an owner of a label, owner of a business and stuff like that.
He was always asking me about like the fundamentals of being an A&R executive.
It becomes real clear once you're in the business where the money is.
He wanted to set up his own empire.
We was recording Players Anthem. That was our first session in Quad Studio. The whole Junior Mafia was there.
And I was on the terrace outside, you know, smoking some weed.
You know, we had just stepped out on the balcony for some fresh air and saw Tupac walking down the block.
They were really tight. Really tight. When Pac would come into town, Big would get missing. He would end up in the city with Pac.
And I goes in the room and tell Big, like, yo, Big, you know, your homeboy Tupac downstairs. Big was like, yo, go get him.
So we all gets on the elevator, go downstairs. Next you know, we smell gun smoke, we see blood and shit on the ground. So we looking like, oh, police right there, freeze, no nobody move.
And they was putting everybody on the wall, getting all your information, telling us that Tupac just got shot.
Downstairs, next you know, we smell gun smoke, we see blood and shit on the ground. So we looking like, oh, police right there, freeze, no nobody move.
And they was putting everybody on the wall, getting all your information, telling us that Tupac just got shot.
I remember Big, you know, wanting to go to the hospital, but then Pac checked himself out real fast.
Pac was really upset, confused.
So he just couldn't understand why Tupac would think that he had him set up.
It just got weird after that.
Things done changed.
It seemed like, you know, we got the blame for it, and it's like, yo, we ain't have nothing to do with that. If anything, we would have loved to get Pac on our album. You know, that would have been good. But just that night, just something went wrong.
Who shot you?
Then Big came out with the song Who Shot You. When he heard Who Shot You, Tupac thought that Big was talking about him in that record. But actually, he wrote the song way before Tupac got shot. That's when, like, it hit the fan.
The Good night, this is Puffy. Any artists out there want to be an artist, come to Death Row.
I think they were both becoming pawns in the media's eyes.
I was definitely commenting on it on my show, and we all fell into it, not knowing that it was going to be so ugly.
It was like an incredible fire that everyone just kept pouring gasoline on.
Big just tried to ignore it. He knew Homeboy was bugging out, and Big just let it ride out. Big was like, but it had nothing to do with it, why speak about it?
He felt bad that Pac really thought, or was acting like he thought he had something to do with it, but he was basically focusing on what he had to do.
He felt responsible to represent the East Coast.
He ain't got no problems with representing the East. All right, but I don't want to represent the East Coast dissing somebody.
It just started getting crazy. Everyone's traveling with more security when they come to the East, with more security when they go to the West, and no one knew how to stop it.
Last night, West Coast rapper
Tupac Shakur shot 4 times on his way to a nightclub.
It was Sunday, September 7th, that Tupac was shot. And he died Friday, September 13th. And it was a week after that Big had his car accident.
I was driving.
It was raining that day.
I was turning the corner and it was slippery outside. And when I turned to go around the circle, the car just slid from the water.
The car went over some embankment.
Big was in the front seat and messed up his leg for like 8 months.
A lot of people was questioning the fact, my God, Tupac passed away, you had such a freak accident. That accident was a wake-up call. He thought about the future. Hey, I could have died.
And when he was flat on his back, he had time to really reflect on the direction that his life was going in.
He just started doing things, more positive things, more family things.
Faith had called me and told me that she was heading to the hospital. They had a brief reconciliation, and CJ was conceived.
For him to have a child with Faith, that made him very happy.
This time he wanted a son, and this time he got a son.
He had a completely different perspective with life after death than he did on Ready to Die.
In between those 2 albums was a whole lifetime, literally.
Well, Life After Death was more like, my life is good now. You know, I got 2 kids. You know, I got Junior Mafia out, got my crew out, my team eating. You know, I got a house on the hill now, I got some cars.
As soon as he was done recording, he looked at me and goes, Preem, it's over, I did it. I did it. He's like, I'm the greatest.
This goes out to you, and you, and you.
When he went to California, he really wanted to put to rest all of the bullshit, sensationalized East-West type of stories.
He was out there promoting the album.
Right away I panicked. Because gosh, California, you know, that's not such a nice place for my son to be. People might resent my son because Tupac is gone. They may feel that he's out to take over Tupac's, you know, place.
He was going to the radio stations and he was doing interviews just like dispelling all of that.
Going back to Cali, strictly for the weather, women, and the...
He liked everything about LA. That was the happiest time I think I ever saw Big in my life.
And he's literally by poolside at the Four Seasons in a cabana, you know, smoking weed and drinking lemonade. He really wanted to be able to enjoy his success now that he was making money, now that he was finally doing exactly what it is he wanted to do with his life. Not even a day later, he was murdered.
Pop asked him, like, yo, you've been working. You want to go hang out? You know, so there's a party going on. And Big was like, I think I deserve to go get a drink. The party was lovely, man. They played Hypnotize about 10 times in there.
So that's the first time he had heard the song out, and people was loving it.
You thought we was in New York the way they were showing Big love out there.
He was feeling that. We left the club real happy. We had just literally pulled out the parking lot.
I was right behind Big, and Damien was on the side of me.
I had mushed him. I was like, yeah, boy, you back. And he had just like, did like that. And he had looked back and he was smiling, like, you know what I'm saying? He was just laughing like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then like 2 seconds later, we heard the shots.
The car just rolled up on the side with a dude in it by himself. He just started shooting holes on Big door. You know, I jumped out the car searching myself to see if I'm shot. But you know, the only one they hit was Big.
I mean, I had to call his mother from that damn hospital, man. That was crazy.
I picked up the phone and I heard a man crying. And I recognized Damien's voice. And right then and there, I knew something was wrong with my son.
Valentino giving me soups.